Alright, we are back again. Old school AJ and I are in the garage in the chilly weather.
Yeah.
We've got the wood stove going for about 7.5 minutes, so it's only starting now to take the edge off. This is not the oil pan off the V8, but the one down, dirty one down there is. This is for the other V8 he had years back. So, after some research and us pulling the stupid truck apart, we come to find out that the first gens of the Dakotas didn't come with a V8 from the factory unless Carroll Shelby put it in there. So what he had to do was modify the mounts from the truck with some hot rod mounts. We got just about every motor mount Mopar ever made over here. Between Rock Auto and eBay, Old School spent about $6 and got every one of them. So this oil pan needs to be like shortened this way, not full length, just the sump part of it. So what we've done is I got the V6 version over there chilling, and I'm gonna ever so slightly just cut this oil pan with my grinder down this way and trying to run around somewhere around yonder. So after cutting the two oil pans up, this is what it looks like on the inside. I left a bit of an overhang here just to keep some structural integrity inside of the tank. And all I ended up doing was had AJ run the step drill down in there, put a couple perforations in there. So the tank is all welded up all the way around. So I just got done a couple of minutes ago. It's cooled down. After it cooled down, I unscrewed it from the board and set it on the motor right here. She's good to go. So address some of the issues on the inside, and then we'll fill it up with water just to double check for leaks. Water's a bit thinner than oil, so even if water comes through, it's not necessarily that oil will, but if oil comes through, water definitely will. So it's just flux core welded. I could have used the TIG, but the welder, the MIG's a whole lot faster, and I have, you say about an hour into this?
About an hour, yeah.
About an hour into this oil pan. Alright, we filled it with water, found only trace leaks. Quick touch of the welder, sealed them up, tested it again, it's good to go. Cleaned it out, and did a half butthole attempt at painting it. Yeah. So what we declared on the little trail here for the oil pan or the oil dipstick, what we gonna do is we're gonna cut the dipstick to hit here because it should at least be filled with oil until this level here. So it'll at least go down an inch into it, so we can modify it that. This thing's still a little sticky, like your girlfriend the next morning, because the paint hasn't fully dried, but we're gonna send it. Alright, let's hurry up and do this. I got a couple minutes. My wife made dinner. I don't care, so I got butter popcorn. So this big motor going in this little truck. You saw the oil pan. That's the kernel. So we got the big thick chain because we don't know where the little chain is. I'm not sure here. So I believe we are prepared to at least start fitting this motor. There. Gotta get the table out of the way. It was on the table. Did you get the other one in, Shorty?
Huh?
Got your step stool? Did You need to jiggle it.
You don't play with it, jiggle it a little bit?
Wiggle it.
No, wiggly willy.
Come on, little Willie.
There.
Tighten her down.
I got finger tight.
You only got the finger in there?
There.
Two in the pink, one in the stink. You need a step stool to get into the front of a two-wheel drive pickup.
Like I said, it's not on film.
So I got some cool motor mounts. Little clam shell dealy in this. It's got a rubber bushing in there. You weld this to the frame wherever you want it. I've got one welded in there, just one side, but the issue is it's too far forward. You got the motor mounted to the trans, and using the rear cross member and trans mount, we figured out where it was going to be located. The issue is, got the radiator in, tried to put the water pump on, and the motor needs to go back about a half an inch. A half an inch and take the nub off the front of the water pump. So I left the water pump on there because you'd need that anyways for bolts, but we're going to countersink them. We're going to countersink some bolts into it and do that way. So in my attempts to find out where I can get a half an inch from, I was going to elongate the holes on the cross member, but I opted for another way. So this right here is the clamshell mount for the trans mount. This is where I'm going to get 3/4 of an inch. So it mounts up. This is the front 2 bolts. This is the back bolt. All I'm going to do is take and lop this off right here and turn it around this way. And that's going to move 3/4 of an inch. Wait, it goes this way. Something like that. I gotta double check it. But that's pretty much all I'm gonna end up doing. If I have to, is, like I said, this is where I'm gonna get it, is out of this. I can get a half to 3/4 of an inch out of this. So I'm gonna modify this. So after about a half hour's worth of work, here's the clamshell that mounts to the trans. I'm gonna slap it up in there once it's cool, throw some paint on it, and because it's still got all this paint here, I'm just gonna paint where I welded pretty much in the inside of it. Alright, so I made that piece and moved it back and remounted for the motor mounts. So I'm gonna show you the motor mounts, how they are. If I can get in there, I think I can. So there's one, comes up in here. So it came with this mount piece here. They're wet, so I'm not touching them from paint. And this. So I added this gusset in here. I didn't necessarily feel as though I needed it on this side, but the other side I did. So this one's a bit stretched. You know, it's out more because the motor is actually offset in the engine bay, because that's what Mopars do. So even the radiator's off center. So the gusset's here to really just keep it. It was either here, do this gusset, or I was gonna run like a pipe underneath of it, kind of like a second cross member, but we decided against that. All right, with the motor being held, the motor mount's holding the motor and trans and everything, and it's bolted together. We got the flex plate bolted up, and I can start putting everything together on this. AJ is back there. He's cleaning his starter because for some reason he's got an issue with dirty starters or something. So I've already unbolted this stuff, but for some reason I beat on this valve cover a bit and it don't want to come off. Well, this one does. There's one grimy valve cover. Here's the other one. Reason why we're taking these off, because Old Skool's got new ones. Whenever Gomer put this on here, felt the need to make sure he used 14 gallons of freaking glue. That in this intake, I know is probably about 45 pounds. So, if not more. Yeah, more. There. I actually think I gave him this intake years back. We're going full 1979. Buying chrome, got some chrome valve covers.
I wasn't paying the money for the blacking.
What he's trying to tell you is he's cheap.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with cheap projects. Alright, we'll try to pick it back up, see what happens. We get a little bit farther, get some more parts on here. It's got the alternator, I think we're ready to put that on. Maybe put the radiator in. 'Cause I'm tired of looking at it. So, just putting stuff together. Gotta get the headers on it. They're over there. So we'll pick it back up in a little while.